Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to Topless Talks with Nova, episode 23. How are you guys doing? Are you guys doing okay? Have you had a good 2 weeks? I've had a pretty good 2 weeks. I don't know if you noticed, but this episode is being released a few days late. It's because filming just didn't happen the way that I wanted it to. I decided to take a few personal days, and that's just the way it happened. So, here I am releasing this episode 2, maybe 3 days later than on schedule. But at least it's getting made in the first place. So you're fucking welcome. I'm just kidding. But it has been a really long and busy 2 weeks. So I started my own YouTube channel, which is kind of like my new business endeavor right now. It's kind of what I was busy working on this past weekend. But I thought that it would be a perfect opportunity with me starting like this whole new endeavor to kind of talk about my brand and like the many hats that I wear within my brand, because I've been doing this a long time, and basically everything that you see within my brand, whether it be my streams, my podcast, my YouTube, my Pornhub, my OnlyFans, literally everything you see is made by me. I've never outsourced. I've never commissioned for any kind of work. And I'm really proud of that fact. You know, I mean, of course, I would love to have more time. I would love to commission out and have more time to make actual content and do the things that I love. But the thing is, like, this is the thing that I love. Doing everything is what I love, you know, because I love the variety of my life. But before I get ahead of myself, I thought that because last episode I kind of talked about sex workers in general and like the stigma, I thought that this episode I would talk about me personally and like what my typical week looks like, what a day of work looks like for me, just to, you know, give you guys a better idea and help you understand how much energy and how much effort is being put into this content, and then maybe you'll respect it a bit more, you know? Not that you don't respect it already, but you know what the fuck I mean. So what are all of the things that I do? And this is just things within my brand, things that I am responsible for, okay? So first is obviously this podcast, then my YouTube, then my OnlyFans, then my Pornhub, and then every other social media that I have, which is Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, I don't even know. Then I have my Twitch. And then on top of all of that, I do like my creative stuff. So I make all of my emotes. I make all of my stickers. I make all of my merch. I also do all of my own marketing and all of my own concept ideas. I also do all of my own photo shoots. I'm both photographer and model, and I do all of my own video shoots as well. And so listing all of that off, it sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. It's a fucking lot. It's very overwhelming sometimes. And it's hard to kind of juggle all of these things all at once, which is something I definitely need to work on. Because my issue is I start something new or I focus on one thing and I really get into that one thing, and then everything else kind of gets neglected. That's a work in progress, though. I'm sure other people struggle with that as well. And so within all of those things that I just listed off, I wear a lot of hats because of those things. So I'm the creative director. I'm the one that plans all of my Twitch streams. I get ideas for my cosplays. I plan my photo shoots and my video shoots. I'm the one that is coming up with all of these ideas. I'm also the videographer and editor. So I film my premium videos, my podcasts, my YouTube videos, everything. And then I also edit them, which I'm just learning to do YouTube edits. I will shamelessly plug my YouTube in the description so that maybe you guys can see like the kind of style that I have. I'm still really, really new on YouTube edits, but it's really fun. Honestly, it's so fun. So I'm videographer and editor. I'm photographer and model, so I do all of my own photo shoots. I'm graphic designer. I'm social media manager. I'm a customer service representative. I'm a podcast host, and I'm a web developer and tech support. So all of these things I'm in charge of. So like when something goes wrong or when I have a really cool concept for a video or something, I'm the one I turn to. I don't bounce ideas off of anyone. It is solely me. And again, I'm really proud of that fact because I've learned a lot of great, useful skills that I can use in the future. So, what does one of my days look like? What does one of my weeks look like? So, every day I try to at least work on cam for at least 2 hours. That's every single day. And whether that be like on a live stream or just taking like Skype shows or something, I try to work at least 2 hours every single day. And that's just for my livelihood. That's just because it's fucking necessary. Not only that, but I make sure my socials are all checked. I make sure my messages are checked. I make sure to post some stories for, marketing and visibility. I make sure to reply to all of my OnlyFans DMs. I make sure to, and this is just work. This doesn't even include the things that I do in my personal life, okay? I make sure to activate all of my campsites so that I'm visible on there as well. And so for my week, I kind of have separate days for filming, a separate day for editing, a separate day for posting. And that has been such a huge game changer for me is batch filming content. So I will, and each day, like I don't batch film content for every single platform on one day. So one day I'll batch film for TikTok. Another day I'll batch film for OnlyFans. Another day I'll batch film for YouTube or anything else, And then on a separate day, I will sit down and try to edit all of them. Obviously I can't do all of the edits in one day, but I have a separate designated time blocks for each separate thing that I do. And that really fucking helps. It really has helped a lot in like the organization of my content and like the way that I'm able to keep everything prioritized in my mind. Also, scheduling content is an absolute must. So if you're not utilizing the schedule feature on Instagram, OnlyFans, TikTok, if you're not utilizing that, then you're making it way harder for yourself. What you need to do is schedule content, especially on OnlyFans, for like a month out. And then you'll be fucking set. You won't have to deal with that for an entire month. And I also have a separate time block for simply uploading videos onto websites. So say like, because I have a few different like clip sites that I upload all my videos to. Not only Pornhub, but also ManyVids, OnlyFans, LoyalFans, all of these clip sites that I upload to, plus my campsites too. And you would never think about it, but this process takes quite a long time. Not only do you have to upload it, which takes time to render, but you also have to write a description and put some tags on it and make a thumbnail for it and all of these creative things to try to heighten your visibility and try to heighten your engagement. So a lot of the labor is invisible. A lot of the labor isn't seen by the general public. And I think the most laborious thing, the thing that takes the most time, is setting up for photo shoots and setting up for video shoots. Setting up is probably the bane of my existence. It takes so long, especially a photo shoot, to get the right settings on your camera and find a good spot that you want to do the photo shoot in, and cleaning up the space and making it look nice, and also getting ready for yourself, making sure the lighting is right and making sure you have all the right tools and it's the right time of day because the sun is shining in right. There's a lot of things to consider, especially with like photo shoot setup, that if I were just the model, I would probably have a lot more photo shoot content. If I had a photographer to do my photo shoots for me, I would probably have a lot more photo shoot content out there. But I'm an introvert and I enjoy doing things myself. So you're probably like sitting here listening to me like complain about all of this, and you're like, Nova, why do you do this? Like, it's so much work. Why do you do this to yourself? Why do I do it to myself? Because it's fucking fun. It is so fun being able to be in charge of my entire brand. I get to pick the things that I do, the things that I don't want to do. I get to pick my hours. I get to pick my pay. I get to pick literally anything I want. I get to take time off if I need to. I get to take personal days if I'm having a rough day. I don't have to clock in for another person, and no one bitches at me if I fucking clock out early. Like, I mean, maybe some horny dudes will, but that's the worst of it. I won't get fired. I won't, there's no risk of me losing my job. There's no risk of me losing any clientele or anything. So that's a huge aspect of why I keep doing this, is I get to be my own boss, and plus learning all of these skills. So like YouTube editing, Pornhub video editing, just all of these, like learning how OBS works. All of these things are so, so, so useful. And I'm sure that eventually I'll be able to teach other people how to use these things. And maybe that can be what I do next. Is teaching people how to make content and be content creators, and how to schedule out your day and your week. And so with each of these aspects of what I do, I have different tools for each one of them. So probably my biggest tool, my biggest, most favorite tool of all of the content that I make is DaVinci Resolve, which is a video editing software. It's free, completely free. There is a paid version, but the free version is fucking kick-ass. It definitely has a learning curve. I've been using it for a really long time, but I think not until recently, within the last few weeks, have not been utilizing it to its full potential. And ever since YouTube, really, the YouTube edits is what kind of opened my eyes to all the possibilities for DaVinci Resolve. And so if you don't have DaVinci Resolve and you're a content creator, you need to get it. I will say though, it requires a decent PC, although it is on iPad as well, and on iPad it does work really well. But it does require a somewhat decent PC, because the PC that I had before just didn't work. It didn't run very well on it. But DaVinci Resolve is fucking amazing. Another tool that I use is Canva, and it's such a simple tool too. I'm sure so many people that are listening right now use Canva as well. I use Canva for my Pornhub intros, my outros, my YouTube intros and my outros, my emotes, my stickers. I use them for my video thumbnails, literally everything. I use Canva so much, and it's so useful. I even use it for my Twitch alerts as well. And I do have the paid version of that, which is only like, I don't even know, like 12, 15 bucks a month. So not terrible. And they also have like no copyright music, and they have a lot of fucking resources that are so useful for content creators and just people in general. Really, really useful platform. So for recording, like audio recording and stuff like that, I use Audacity, which is like an audio recording software. It's also free and very useful. So basically the way I do my podcast is I will record the video and then I record the audio separately. So in DaVinci Resolve, I plug them in together and I sync them, and that's how we get the finished product of my podcast. Because if I was using the mic on my camera, it would not sound nearly this good. It would sound really bad. And so there's a separate audio recording software that I use for my podcasts. For my more creative endeavors, like I created a sticker, and I've actually only created one sticker, but for that I use Procreate, which is an app on my iPad, and I use an Apple Pencil as well. And so that is kind of where I let my creative flag fly. I'm really gonna try to do some more ideas. I do have a really cool idea for like a new sticker or an emote, but it's just a matter, it takes a lot of time. to sit down and actually create something from scratch like that. Also, I have to learn the platform and all of the settings and everything as well. So, still somewhat of a newbie there for that, but I will die on the hill that Procreate is fucking amazing. I love Procreate. And so, for my Twitch streams and sometimes my cam shows, I use a software called OBS, which is it stands for Online Broadcasting Software, I believe. That seems like the most obvious answer. But basically, it's just an in between that connects to your Twitch or to whatever streaming platform that you have. And it allows you to stream from there. And it kind of allows you to customize your stream however you want it. You can add like transitions, you can add overlays, you can add font on your stream, you can add so many things. And OBS is so customizable and I love it so much. Also, another thing that kind of has a bit of a learning curve. It's not the easiest thing in the world to navigate when you're first using the software, but the more you familiarize yourself with it, the easier it gets. And I would say that I'm somewhat of an OBS pro. Don't come for me for that. But I love OBS. And not only do I use it for Twitch, but I also use it for my cam shows as well. Because it allows you to switch between scenes and add a timer to your stream. And, there's so much possibilities with OBS. And it's free. You can't be mad at that. And so those are the main tools that I use for all of my content creation. Of course, like for my filming, I have a DSLR Canon. It's a Canon Rebel SL2 or something like that. I'll plug the camera in the description. It's not like a new camera, but it is DSLR and it's a Canon and it's a good camera. So that's definitely needed. I use it for my photo shoots and a lot of my videos and my podcasts. And then for my webcam, which I have a separate camera, it's a mirrorless. It's a Sony Alpha 6400. These two cameras are my babies. They are my bread and butter. I don't know if I would be able to do the content that I have without them, or at least the quality of content that I have without them. I absolutely adore both my DSLR and my mirrorless. I will say my mirrorless is a bit better quality, just because it's a bit newer camera, but I still love my DSLR. I adore it. It's so good. Not only that, but the lighting that I have and the monitor setup that I have and the nice PC that I have and all of the consoles that I have for playing games, and I have a stream deck and my mic, and there's so much equipment that I have that I use on the daily. It's all very, very vital to the content that I create, and it's not cheap. One light, I have two of them. One light alone is like $160. And so it's definitely not something that if you're like starting out on content creation that you can just get outright unless, you have the funds for it. But it's something that you definitely like want to build up to. Because a lot of people, like, they're afraid to start content creation without the best equipment. And I was one of those people at one time. But the thing is, like, you see big content creators out there with very low quality content, and some of them still have really good views and have a high Twitch viewership and a lot of YouTube subscribers. It's not necessarily the quality, like the picture quality, that's important. It's just the quality of the message that you're delivering. And that's what's going to bring people in. And that's what's going to keep people here with you, is being yourself and delivering content that people give a shit about. It's not so much how nice you can make it look. While it is important, it's not the most important thing. So with content creation, there's a lot of things that I wish people understood about it. And especially in my unique situation with being a cam girl and a Twitch streamer and a YouTuber and all of these different things, all of these different hats that I wear, the context switching that I put myself through constantly all day, every day, is almost like a like cognitive whiplash, you know? So I'll go from being in a cam show, being really sexy and intimate, and then immediately starting my Twitch stream, and I have to like shift vibe, you know? I'm still me, I'm still Nova on all of these platforms. But, you know, each platform kind of gets a different version of me. You know, I can't act the same way on Twitch that I do on cam and vice versa. So the constant switching context and the constant switching energy, it's like whiplash sometimes. It can be a lot. And so sometimes I catch myself kind of, it takes a bit longer for me to be able to make that shift. So another thing that I wish more people understood is the power of parasocial relationships and how affecting they can be both towards the viewer and me. And especially being on so many different platforms and very different platforms, they kind of show up differently on each platform. So like in camming, parasocial, it shows up one way, and then Twitch, it shows up another way. And I have to very, very, very carefully navigate these relationships because it can be dangerous for me, first of all. And second of all, it's not that I don't care about my viewers, I do. But I also have to respect my own boundaries and respect my own peace. And a lot of times, people who feel that way about me don't respect my boundaries and don't respect my peace. And so having to navigate these relationships is something, it's like a very delicate dance. And it's something that I'm still learning. I still have a lot to work on with it, but I just wish people understood it a bit more. I wish people were more mindful of it, especially with people who are not only on one platform, but are on several. It kind of makes it overlap and makes it all fuzzy and foggy, and it makes it even harder for me to navigate, is what I'm saying. And with all of these platforms, I'm basically expected to be both emotionally and physically available at all times. You know, like I am constantly getting messages from people, constantly expected to do a cam show or to answer to a fucking Discord DM or to do this and do that. And that kind of ties in with me like expressing my boundaries, and I might hurt some feelings. I've hurt a lot of feelings by expressing my boundaries and enforcing my boundaries. But the thing is, like, my boundaries are my boundaries. And if people don't like it, then like you don't have to be here. I know that's harsh, but because if I don't respect myself and respect my own boundaries, then what the fuck is wrong with me? You know, like if I don't respect my peace and my free time and my freedom, then who is going to? Not anyone else. So, also kind of tying back to a point that I made earlier is how each platform kind of gets a different version of me. So like my podcast, you get like a vulnerable and like real raw version of me. On Twitch, you get like a more chaotic and funny and unhinged version of me. On Instagram, you get like a more polished and like alluring version of me. On OnlyFans, it's confident and intimate and sexy, and then TikTok is just like kind of cutesy, and you know, so each platform kind of gives like a different version of me, and it is not talked about enough how that can be really hard to navigate, and it's hard to continue coming up with fresh ideas and coming up with ways to stand out and actually make something that you can stand behind and something that you're proud of. And the thing is, like, people just don't really see the business side of the things that I do, you know, especially with camming itself and OnlyFans. Like, people think that it's literally just showing up and being hot. If only that's all it was. If only that's all I had to do. If that's all we had to do, I'm sure more people would be doing it. But it's so much more than that. And so with that, with all this invisible labor and all of the relationships that I had to navigate and the brand switching and the cognitive whiplash and everything, all of the support that I get, Makes it so, so, so worth it. And without the support, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do. And support can look like many different things. You know, it could look like liking my video or sending me a tip or sending gifted subs, sending bits, or even just like watching my stream, being a lurker, or sending a sweet message like, hey, you're doing a great job. You know, like support has many, many different faces. And I appreciate all of the support. And I also really appreciate everyone that is listening right now that has the ability to separate or respect the guidelines of the platform and my boundaries. Like I cannot tell you how happy I get when I meet someone new, whether it be on my campsite or my Twitch stream or whatever. When there's someone new that comes into whatever and that is introduced to my brand. It is so, so nice when I don't even ever have to have the conversation of my boundaries with them. And you have no idea how rare that is. And so if you are one of those people that I've literally never had to sit down and be like, hey, I don't like this, or hey, please respect the platform. I cannot explain to you how fucking much I appreciate you. I cannot explain to you how much I love you. Because while I'm totally fine with having these conversations and putting people in their place and enforcing my boundaries, it's the last thing I want to do. You know, like I would rather be doing something else. I would rather be spending that time creating content or doing things that I actually enjoy doing. I don't like having to be mean to people and having to enforce boundaries and having to be stern with people. I don't like that. But it's something that I have to do. It's another one of those hats that I wear as a fucking dick. is a frigid bitch. It's another hat that I wear. So yeah, basically support is everything. Respecting my boundaries is everything. Respecting each platform is everything. Support really is fucking everything. Like I said, I would not be able to keep doing this without the support that I get on all of my platforms. And because of that, I really try to give back as much as I can. Like I do Twitch giveaways, or I give discounts on my OnlyFans, or I'll give my regulars who order a lot of custom videos a little discount every once in a while, or I'll do like a holiday discount for my video calls, or like I want to reward people who are consistent and people who respect me, and I really try to do that as much as I possibly can within reason, you know. And so that being said, thank you to everyone who does support me and who does respect me and my job and everything. You really are just like God's gift to earth. That being said, I think that'll do it for me for today. I'm sorry I was kind of all over the place today. This is something that I don't really get to talk about a lot. I don't think I've ever talked about everything that I do ever in a podcast or in a video or anything like that. So if you guys would like to hear more about like the process or what my week looks like or how I organize my time or organize my content, drop a comment. You know, let me know. Chat about it in the Discord. I want to hear all of your guys' ideas. I want to hear what you guys think, what you guys want to hear next. Because I'm happy to, I'm happy to explain every little thing that I do. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I will see you next one. Have a great day. Bye.